Okay, here we go. First episode of Gamer Boy Gossip.
Let's
Yeah, let's go.
go.
I'm nervous. I don't know why. I just got so nervous all of a sudden. I've been so excited to do this.
Your heart racing.
It really is. I want to check my heart rate.
Yeah.
But
It's probably not as bad as like in-game Warzone when you're the only one left in the squad, but
yeah, or Rocket League.
or RL.
98 B
Oh my God.
98 BPM right now. And I'm sitting down, relaxed, and it's probably going to go up now that I checked it, but so I'm Stinky Boy. Such a dumb name. We got Woody and Ice, or Dustin, Andrew, and Nicholas.
Yo, what's up, y'all?
Yes, sir.
So we decided to do this. Well, let's talk about what this is first. Okay, this is we want this to be, I guess, from the name, Gamer Boy Gossip, kind of just a podcast where we talk about gaming. Not just gaming. We want to talk about getting into everything, but I guess it's going to be centered primarily around just gaming and what we do and what we like, and
Yeah.
just
We're
news
three
that
brothers.
we see.
We're three brothers. And we play probably at least once, twice a week together, just random games, but we wanted to make it into something more than that, and we've always talked about starting a podcast, so we thought, hell, let's just combine the two and see where it goes.
Right, because gaming's just been, it's just been a huge part of our lives from growing up and from the early days of playing the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo 64 together whenever we were still living together, and then all the way up into playing PC games and just online. It's just been a huge part of our lives, so that's why we wanted to make that the focus of what we want to do. But it's going to be like a variety.
Yeah, it really is. I think, like we were saying, I have been wanting to make a podcast. When was the first time I talked to you guys about it? It was years ago. It was 7 years ago at least, something like that.
I was gonna say 5 at least.
Yeah. I think, Nicholas, you were still. It's whenever you were in college, I believe, staying at our house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm excited. We have our expectations pretty low, I think. At least I do. I have dreams of, this catching on, people liking us, trying to be as authentic as we possibly can.
Yeah, do I think that I'm going to financially support myself and my family with this
Yes,
podcast right now?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
No.
I'm
Do I
doubling
think
down
that
and
we
actually
could get there?
2 weeks.
Absolutely.
I put my 2 weeks in yesterday, so I really hope this takes off very quickly because I don't have a backup plan. So,
yeah.
But let's talk about, just on this first step, let's talk about how we got into gaming, because you guys, Ice, as you said, like we started out on the Super Nintendo. I wish I didn't game as much as I, looking back now as an adult, would have liked, because out of the three of us, let's be real, I'm the worst the worst gamer.
No.
As far as skill goes.
No, it depends on what we're.
As far as skill goes.
No.
Let's be real. Let's
said it.
Let's not lie to the audience. It's straight up. I admit that I have the least amount of game played hours, probably, as far as I'm not as quick as you guys are. If we're talking about first person shooters, my KD is way lower than you guys. Well, maybe, I don't know. Me and Nicholas are probably. I'm closer to Nicholas, obviously, than with that. We're probably not too far apart.
No.
Woody has got us. Andrew, you've got us by far on first person shooters.
Yeah, but without
a doubt.
And that kind of goes back, at least in my mind, that goes back to when we first started gaming. So for me, I think I was 3 or 4 when I first started gaming. Dustin, you have memories of me playing, and I don't even remember playing those games.
Right, yeah, NHL 96, dude.
Yeah. Yeah,
I would have
on
you
the
play.
ins-
I would have you play. I'm 8.5. Little background. I'm 8.5 years older than Andrew.
Yeah.
I'm about 6 years, almost 6 years older than Nicholas. I would have Andrew tell him to play NHL 96 on, what was it? Was that Super Nintendo?
That was
Or was that? Yeah, it had to be because
That was
N64
Super
didn't come
Nintendo,
out till
yeah.
later.
it was Super Nintendo.
It was.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
and I would watch him because he was better at that game than I was as a probably close to being a teenager, and he's 4 or 5 years old.
Born to be baby. I got it in my blood. But yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah.
like, I think honestly, if you're talking about like different skills and things, I think that is probably why some of those stats are the way they are, because I just started when I was like 4 or 5, and it's like when you start, it's like when kids start languages, learning foreign languages when they're super young, they just pick up on it way quicker than if you do it even in your teenage or high school years.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. And also because for years, me and Dustin were way better than Andrew was. So he had to try to grind to beat us in all the games.
True.
Right. And I got away from gaming quite a bit when I was in high school. I didn't really. I mean, we were lived out in a rural area. By the way, I can't ever fucking say that word. Rural. It is so hard.
Rural.
Whenever I have to say that in a public setting or to someone outside of like a close friend, I get so embarrassed because I just speed.
You
through
sound
it.
like you have a cough drop in, honestly. Like rural.
Hey,
Yeah.
go ahead and try to say it
Yeah.
again.
Rural. Okay, here we go. Shut
Rural?
up. Okay, shut up. Rural.
That
That was pretty good.
That was good. That was good. That was
Rural.
good. Yeah.
I had to
Yeah, you
think
got
about it. I had to pause and think about it
Yeah,
though.
really gotta. Yeah,
I don't even remember what I was saying.
we lived out in a rural area.
Oh yeah, rural area. So we didn't have, online gaming until, I mean, my childhood was non-existent. There was no such thing as online gaming for me because they just wasn't online. It was dial-up
Yeah.
until I was out of high school and gone. So I would go to my friends and we would play Halo, the original Halo and Halo 2, and oh man, I was terrible. I would maybe get one kill a game. It was
That's going up
embarrassing.
against like people that are in the same room as you too.
Yeah, we'd have LAN parties. I mean, we would play online too.
Well, yeah.
Because my buddy had internet, fast enough internet.
Yeah.
But I didn't really get into online gaming until really with you guys until Fortnite. So that was just,
Yes.
I mean, just within the past 5 or 6 years.
It was
where I've
2018,
been-
I guess, when it's 2017 when it came
Yeah.
out, and then we were all
2018 is when I got my Xbox One and started playing with you guys. So as my foray into online gaming, everything up until that point was pretty much strictly single player gaming.
Yeah.
And
Ice, was that when
honestly, I miss that.
was that when you got into online gaming too, or when did you hop into it?
That was a big part of it. Yeah, I mean, I'd say that's the biggest dip that I took around that time. I remember playing a little bit of like online Minecraft with some buddies before that. But like he said, kind of until then, I was pretty much single player games, even into college until Fortnite came out. I mean, I think again that was because we were in a rural area, and I didn't have access to online until I got to college. I mean, we didn't have internet access good enough to play online gaming until I got to college.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was in the.
but that brought up a good point, because I think another reason why Andy, or why Woody, I guess, is so much better than we are is because he has so many more hours of playing with his friends, the type
Oh, rip. Can you hear
No,
him,
I can't.
Woody? Damn.
Games that we are
So
until 4 o'clock in the morning. Almost 8 hours.
we just lost you there for a bit,
Oh,
Nicholas.
did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, this
It's
is
all right. So these
Go ahead.
so we're recording this all online, unfortunately. We all live in 3 different cities, but so bear with us let's be real. Whenever I say bear with us talking to the audience, it's going to be us, our significant others, and a few friends.
Exactly.
Let's be real. It's not going to, if that.
For right now.
I hope our significant others listen. We'll see. Dan, there's something I was going to say. Oh, I lied. I lied. When I was in the Navy, I was out in Denver. We played
a lot out there.
yeah, we played a fuck ton. We played not Call of Duty, Bad Company.
Oh yeah.
We played Bad Company 2. Like it was going. We played that every fucking night, basically, and I was garbage. I would be a medic, and I would rank up because I would just revive everyone in the middle of these gun battles. They get so pissed. My buddies would get so pissed at me because I'd just be running around reviving people and they would immediately die again.
Hey, that's your role though. You're playing your
that's what I was doing, what I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
But let's get back to real quick. This is all disjointed and I apologize. That's partly my fault. I'd say about 99% of it's my fault. So my name is Dustin. We've got Nicholas, which is also Ice, and Andrew, which is also
Which
Woody.
is also
Those are just our gamer handles.
Yeah, gamer tags, exactly.
Yeah, Twitch. I'm Stinky Boy on Twitch.
I'm Woody XB on Twitch.
Just a side note.
But
I am Ice Machine 12. Don't have Twitch yet. Got to get into it. But I've been Ice Machine 12 for a while.
So, that's basically just our backgrounds in gaming. And I don't know, we kind of talked about this a little bit, but we can discuss this in the podcast. I kind of want this to be a free-flowing, I know we've kind of talked about this a little bit, but I want this to be like a free-flowing conversational podcast. I don't want it to be set up like where it feels like we're just reading straight from an outline and we've rehearsed these lines before. I wanted this to be as smooth as and free flowing and authentic as possible because I feel like that will
100%. Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like I don't know.
It's a podcast where the topic is something we're interested in, but we're gonna go off on tangents just throughout different conversations that are going to be completely random and not even close to gaming. But that's okay because that's kind of what we're looking to do with this project.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it will get looser as we go. I feel personally a little stiff right now. I think that's just because this is our first time.
I'm about to throw up
something.
Throw it up.
Yeah. I'm about to throw up.
Well, let's get into a question, almost like an icebreaker, to kind of relax ourselves. So we decided on Gamer Boy Gossip, like we said, because that's something near and dear to our hearts, and that's what we've bonded over.
You did not want that. You were pretty against that.
Well, yeah, because I didn't want it to just be strictly Gamer Boy Gossip.
I get that, and I think I just like the name.
It rolls off the tongue.
I love it. It really does. I feel like it does. Gamer Boy Gossip just sounds like
it's a good.
Yeah, you brought me around to it. I'm fine with it.
But I understand. You feel like it can alienate a potential audience. I get it.
Right, and we'll see. We have to get the audience first. But we'll be all right.
Let's focus on getting an audience first before we alienate anybody.
Yeah. But anyways, like we said, gaming is near and dear to all of our hearts, and that's how we kind of bonded so much over the years. It's kind of kept us close together, especially whenever we can't physically be around each other. I know that's a highlight of my week is being able to play with you guys. So like,
Absolutely.
let's go ahead and start with the beginnings for all of us. And I guess Andy or Woody, let's start with you. What got you in the gaming, and then why is it such a special place in your heart?
Dude, yeah. I've been thinking about this for like ever since we talked about doing Gamer Boy Gossip, like a gaming podcast. Because I honestly don't remember my first like memory of gaming because I was gaming before I was forming memories. And I think that is why I'm into it. Like it just comes second nature to me now. Like it doesn't matter what I'm doing. Like even for work, if I can somehow gamify what I'm doing at work, I will just do it so much better because I'm like constantly looking to hit all the milestones or check marks or 100% the game. Like that is my whole mindset with whatever I do. Like if I start a new game, I instantly go to the challenges and I look to see, okay, this is what I need to be doing throughout the game. And I just like I've always thought of that like that way in when I'm playing video games, even at school. Like it was weird. Like I would always try and like just like do as good as I could in school because I wanted to like be 100% done with the game of school. It's just a weird way of me thinking.
Wow, what a way to motivate yourself to
Yeah.
Yeah.
to do well academically.
I want
I want a fucking game.
You're taking
Yeah.
metagaming to a whole new
Yeah.
level. Right
Yeah.
now.
But like it honestly, I don't even know how to describe it. Like that has been how my brain has worked since I could remember. And it doesn't work any other way. So I think that's why like I constantly want to be gaming or want to be in a situation that I feel like I'm gaming.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go now.
yeah, go for it.
So for me, and this is kind of how I looked at reading before when I was growing up as well, because when I was super young, I want to say super young, when I was, teenager, starting to be a teenager, I was really into reading books and as well as gaming, but to me it was like an escape from reality. It was a way to like I didn't have to think about whatever stresses I had in my life at the time or whatever, any anxiety I had as a kid, I could escape that. And when I was gaming or reading, it was just a break from reality. I don't think about all that stuff when I'm gaming. I think I've used that as a crutch over the years because, gaming for me, I get into it. I can potentially and have put off actual life chores and errands that I have to get done. And I would just procrastinate that because I'm like,
to
I'm
be honest, like
because I just
out of the three of us, who has not done that before? Because I'm guilty of that too.
yeah,
100%. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
But yeah, I mean that's really why I get into gaming so much. And now it's more of a way to connect. I mean, just like with anybody, with anything nowadays, you connect over online. I mean, kids growing up spend more time, I feel like, gaming, or not necessarily gaming, but being online with their friends instead of hanging out in the sense that even we did when we were growing up. And it's, there's not that much time, 10 to 20 years removed from us being that age.
I mean, Ice kind of mentioned it like 100% when, like, I think it was Ice. It might have been Stinky, but like, we're all three in different cities, all in, we're obviously different ages, different stages of our lives, but that's such an easy, like, accessible way to constantly stay connected, like, just like week to week or day to day, where it doesn't feel like, if we don't see each other for 3 months, it doesn't feel like we haven't talked for 3 months because we just talked on Xbox last week or 3 days ago or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
Yeah. What about you, Ice? Let's hear your little backstory.
Well, mine's very similar to yours, Stinky, and maybe that's why it is similar because
crap.
Uh-oh. Here we go again. It's probably some bullshit.
Brother, if us.
There we go. Yeah, start over.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Now I can.
Okay. Okay. So I was going to say, a lot of mine is similar to yours, but I think that's by design because you really influenced my way into gaming. With you being the oldest of us three, and I'm sure we'll talk about this numerous times on the podcast. But my fondest memories growing up were, some of them anyways, were going home after school and not even playing video games, but just watching you play video games because you were so much better at video games than we were at that time.
Yeah.
And it made me want to pursue that. And then getting into the other topic of what you brought up, I also loved to read as a kid, and I just recently got back into it a lot more over the last couple months. And it is, again, just an escape from reality whenever things kind of get stressful. Normal life stressors come at you, and you need a little bit of escape. And this has been a big one for me because I love so much the storytelling aspect of video games, and I love immersing myself in the story. It's almost like a nostalgia run every single time I play. That's why I love playing single player games so much, is because I fully immerse myself as the character in the story. Exactly. What their choices. I try to think about what I would do with the choices I made in that game in the past. And that's just a way for me to, I don't know, get my inner child kicking again. And so that's a really big part of why gaming is so important to me, is just because I love the storytelling aspect, and I love bringing to life all of my inner mind ideas through the games.
So, like, when you immerse yourself, like, say in Skyrim, would you even go as far as to, like, follow their dietary habits, like raw medicine and shit?
Oh,
or like Fallout, like you eat, like,
I
drink Nuka-Cola.
Well, yeah, 100%. With Skyrim, whenever I was on that kick, I would wheels of cheese in my pocket, walking around, and then with Fallout, I would just, I would let water get dirty for a while before I drank it, just to really immerse myself. To the point where it's like almost
radioactive. Yeah,
that's exactly. Yeah.
So I got a quick question because I can't remember in Skyrim. You didn't have to eat, right? Did that heal you? I can't remember. I haven't played Skyrim in probably 10 years.
It did heal you. I think you could also get a perk that, I say perk. I think you could also get an attribute or whatever it is that allowed you to eventually restore your health. But healing spells that you have.
I think most.
That's right.
Even if you weren't early,
that's
like,
what
And you don't really, like, I guess you kind of had builds in Skyrim, but let's be honest, like, at least for me, I wasn't thinking about that when I was playing Skyrim because it was, like, such a revolutionary game. Like, that was the first game of that kind that I ever played, and I was just like, this is so sick. I'm just gonna, like, not even worry about what the skills and attributes are because I'm just gonna start, I'm just playing the game. I'm not worried about building my character a certain way.
Yeah. That's a very whenever you and me started playing it, we were maybe very beginning of high school, maybe.
It came out like 2012, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So I was midway through high school at that
2011, 2012, somewhere around there.
And that's a very early teenage-ish way to play a game. oh, what
I
looks
remember-
cool here? This looks cool. This armor looks cool.
I remember when when Skyrim first came out, I was so against it because everybody, all my friends, that's all they were talking about when it first came out. Gotta play
Yeah.
this. All they were doing was playing it. So I didn't. I mean, I held out for maybe a couple months, maybe, and then I finally went to Redbox, rented it, and
You're
that's
showing your age a little bit. Yeah.
that's the version. That's the version I still have. Is that
That's
I never took it back. 'cause
You never returned
I
your red
never
box?
returned it because I never
Oh my god.
stopped playing. I played that thing the first day I got it. I played it for, I mean, probably the
So
entire
do you have
day,
a
probably
late
9
charge
to
on
10
that, or do
hours.
they just charge you for the
And
full game?
then
Yeah.
they
have
charge you up to a certain point because yeah, it was, I don't know, it was like $50 or 50 or
I would
60
say
bucks.
probably
I don't
once
remember.
you got to actually buying the game outright,
Yeah.
they probably were like, we got enough money from him.
Yeah, they charge you up. There's a maximum penalty that you pay, and then they just stop charging you. I forget. It's right around 50 or 60 bucks. I think it was a little bit more than the game actually was at the time, whatever the amount was. But I remember thinking
That
I
got me
should have just
thinking.
bought it and
Did you
saved a
guys
little bit of
see
money.
that
but-
headline of like somewhere in the Northeast? I want to say like New York or some shit. They found like 112-year-old book that hadn't been returned to the library, and they went back to return it. Yeah, so they were like cleaning out
No.
this like upstairs or something. I'm gonna forget all the details, but basically cleaning out this older person's house and found it. Somehow realized that it was late and took it back to the library and said, "I think you've been looking for this for a while." It's like 100+ years late.
Yeah, book checked out in 1904, 1905, according to
Oh
the
my
director
gosh.
of the New
And I
Bedford
was like,
Free
"Oh my
Public
God,
Library in
that's got to be like a
Massachusetts."
crazy late fee." And they
Wow.
said the max for a late fee was $2 back then, so they only had to pay like $2. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. That thing shouldn't have gone back to the library. It should have gone to
Yeah.
a museum if it's a book that
I can't-
old.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
crazy.
So yeah, it says capped decades ago at $2 encouraged people to return their books. Had that late fee remained without a cap, the borrower would have owed roughly $430. Without a cap, at today's late fee rate of 5 cents per
my
day, the
God.
balance would be more than $2,100.
Oh my gosh.
Man, that's honestly though for 120 years, almost
I would have
120
thought it would
years.
have been more, honestly.
Not that
Yeah.
bad. Does that not seem that bad? There is a movie I forgot to return when I was in high school, and my mom got so pissed because it was like almost $100 late fee, and that was only by a couple months, and that was from Hollywood Video. Is that place even in business anymore?
I think so. I think it's still a thing. But that also reminds me, I one time I forgot to pay a bill and it just kept going up and up, and I think
Good Lord. Yeah.
Rip, we don't get to see how much it was. You're gonna have to fix it. He's gonna have to fix this because we can't keep going like this.
oh god,
Yeah, you were.
I
How
missed
much
you
was
again.
it? Yeah. No, we missed you.
Yeah.
How much was it? How much was the bill?
Oh, I said it got up to like $800 before I started to pay it.
Oh my
Um,
god! What was it?
no, I'm just kidding. Of course,
Oh, okay.
I'm financially responsible.
I mean, I wasn't when I was a kid.
Yeah, somewhat.
I had, and this is why I hate the NFL, is because Bank of America gave me a credit card when I was 18 years old, right before I left for college, and they told me the minimum, it was $100 limit, not much at all, but they told me the minimum payment would automatically come out of my checking account, so I never paid it because I assumed every month that the minimum payment would be coming out of my checking account.
Dang.
2 days before I leave for the Navy, I get a call from a creditor that I owed them however much money it was at the time. And I'm like, well, I don't have any, I can't pay that because I'm leaving for the Navy in 2 days for boot camp. Can you pause it or freeze the account? And they said no. So I remember it affected my credit for years. I mean, however many years, my credit was fucked because of this. And I ended up paying off. I forget how much it was. It was like $700 or $800 when I got out of boot camp. But that was like a deal the credit company made with me, or like the collection company, not the credit company.
Yeah.
So fuck Bank of America. I hope they go bankrupt.
Dude, I'm right there with you. I don't like Bank of America. Their interface on the web page and the app is just
I go more
terrible to use.
regional, so I don't know. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Yeah. I want to go back to
Ponzi schemes.
what Nick said because it reminded me of a funny memory in my mind, at least. When he said some of his fondest memories were coming home after school to watch Stinky play. Some of my fondest memories were when we were on the bus to come home to play those video games. And me and Ice.
Oh yeah, 100. I was gonna bring this up earlier.
Like we had this thing that like if you are a sibling, you know that if you call something, that means that you get to do it. And even if you're not even close to that, gets to do it. You call dibs.
Whoever says it first.
Me and Ice would call dibs on playing whatever console we had at the time, and
every time.
Oh yeah, it was every time. Yeah. And
every time you would be first. Every
because
time
he was older. I mean, I was like what, maybe first grade at this point. So like super like gullible kid.
Probably.
And Stinky Boy every time would be like, well, I was thinking about it. I was about to say it. Yeah, so really I get to play.
I was about to say it.
I would just let him play and I wouldn't get to play.
I mean, also, I think there is. Yeah, you probably did let me, but I'm sure I was a dick older brother and be like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna play regardless."
100%. You know what? That I was fine with it because, like I said, I love and I still love watching people play video games. Sometimes even more than playing the video games them myself. So I think
there's a big market for that. I mean, look at Twitch. That's why Twitch is so big.
Yeah, and that's why I still, I watch Twitch and people play a variety of games daily on there, even just for a little bit, just because I love watching people enjoy the process more than me actually putting the effort into pulling the game up and me having to exert the brain power for it sometimes. I love just turning it off and just watching and enjoying someone else enjoy a game.
Well, I think that's why, I mean, when you have a good and entertaining Twitch
streamer?
I don't know. I was going to Twitch performer, gamer, Twitcher, Twitch streamer. There you go, streamer. Oh boy. That was rough. I mean, it just makes it immerses you. Not only do you get to immerse yourself in the video game, but you also get to have fun commentary. I mean, I personally think Doc is the pinnacle as far as production, entertainment value. I think he's the best, and I some people don't like his whole shtick. I get it, and I can understand that. But
are you talking about Dr. Disrespect?
100%. From a production standpoint, I don't think anyone does it better than him. I think every time I watch one of his streams from beginning to end, it just gets me so hyped. I want to I want to do that. I want to play. I want to stream. I want to edit videos. I love that shit. I want to get back into it. I was into it for a little while, but then I got inconsistent.
Since we're doing this,
I'd love for you guys to get.
I'm going to start. I got to start doing it on a somewhat consistent basis. My problem is I just got to figure out how my Xbox can do it, or just get a better PC or something, because mine was working for a while, and I loved it. It was so much fun, even though we had like one or two like viewers the entire time. It was just so fun. Like it was, like you said, it was kind of like a creative way, or like a creative outlet almost. instead of just like playing a video game, like you got to make it more fun than just sitting in front of a screen. Yeah.
And it's
Like,
yeah,
Hi Guy
having that
Mike.
interaction with whoever is, you know, the audience. Oh, I know. I was thinking about that.
If
the
Hi
other
Guy
day.
Mike
I miss
doesn't
Hi Guy
listen to
Mike.
this, I
What
would
a
be
legend.
very,
He was
very hurt and sad and probably a little disappointed. I may cry because Hi Guy Mike is like,
Hi Guy Mike. If you make it, if you listen
Yes,
and make
yes.
it to this
because we're
far,
gonna
please reach
have him
out
as a
to
guest. We
me
have to have him
somehow.
as a guest.
I would love that. I would love. Absolutely, absolutely. I would love to meet that guy. Hi Guy Mike. What a legend. I know this has no bearing
But you'll
or
know.
no relevance to
Eventually you'll know
anybody
because we're
listening
getting him on this
besides
podcast and you'll know the
those who
legend
were
Hi Guy
there
Mike.
at the beginning. Yeah. God. Those are some of my favorite memories was early streaming. Remember we were talking about this the other day. Playing during the pandemic, we'd wake up first thing in the morning, get on Xbox and just game all day long.
Yeah.
For probably,
to the
I wish
point
I was
where like I
streaming
wouldn't
back then.
even
That would have
turn
been the
off my
perfect time to
Xbox
start.
to go grab something
But
to eat.
12 hours.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, because we just go make something. I mean, we couldn't leave our house. I mean, it was the early during lockdown. It was.
No.
Sorry, can you guys hear that? My fucking cat is rolling a marble around on the floor.
I don't think I heard it.
No,
All right, good.
Mine was different because like I was actually like I worked during the pandemic at Target, so I was like a essential employee or whatever the hell they designated it. But it's such a blur because
Yeah.
all I did was if I didn't work that day, I'd wake up, turn on my Xbox, not turn it off until I go to sleep. Or if I worked in the morning, I wouldn't turn it on, but as soon as I got home, I'd turn on my Xbox and not turn it off till I got to sleep. Or if I worked in the evening, it was the other way around. Like that's all we did for the first 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, I think I worked from home for the first month and a half or 2 months or so. I don't think it was a full 2 months for me. I think it was about a month to month and a half. I worked from home. And yeah, I mean, if I would just take, if I got a phone call or had to, do whatever, I would just just mute my mic or something and I would still be playing. Oh, those were the God.
No.
Those will never. There's never going to be another days like that. I mean, there really isn't. I mean, which is good in some ways. Clearly, there doesn't need to be
right because we're talking about another pandemic.
But I don't know. I think
we're gonna have to.
That was just some of the best times.
We'll have to talk about that for
we'll
sure.
always remember. We'll always remember those times. And that was another time, yeah. But I say, yeah, I think we should wrap up. This is a good time. We're going to try to keep it between around 30, 45 minutes for a while until we really get our groove of things, and then probably stretch it out to an hour once we start getting more comfortable and
everything.
I think. Where you guys agree with that? I've already got a whole list of stuff in my notes app that I want to talk about. Let's see. Podcasts. Yeah, it's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bullet points of stuff. And nothing of any of this has to do with gaming. I get worked up a lot about stuff. Right, and that's what I think once we get into that stuff, once we start getting, I think it'll be a lot more easier to listen to.
Yeah, the first couple sessions, we have to let the people know who we are and why we started this in the first place. So I think we're in a good spot.
Yeah, I agree.
No, I was gonna say thanks.
All right, that was okay. Did you have something to say?
The first episode
Good.
of Gamer Boy Gossip in the books, boys.
In the books. I hope hope this. I'd like to continue this. I want to keep doing this, even if no one ever listens. I know I talked about this with you, Andrew, but I'd love to just sit here and recap, the week with you guys. Basically, that's what I'd like to get this into. Whatever's going on.
And you know what? We finally did it. This was our plunge.
Yeah, finally. I'm excited.
Yeah, be on the lookout. Right. We are kind of setting up some
next week, I guess.
Different social things, and that'll be a little later. But we'll let you know about that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we'll get all that set up. Yeah.
Just keep. Yeah. Peace.
Till then. See ya.
Peace and love.
Bye.